Tottenham Hotspur 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0. I suppose it was a game of two halves, if you like, Stevie Nicol. Wolves with a lot of the ball and the better of the first half, but just not clinical in front of goal. And Spurs did what Spurs do in the second half.
Yeah, it was kind of what we expect from both teams. I mean, Spurs win the game, so they'll be delighted, and they won't care less that, yes, they were outplayed in the first half, and were maybe slightly better than Wolves in the second, but they were hardly entertainers. But it's kind of what Spurs are, I think. You know, they're not going to go and steamroll teams and outplay them completely and score lots of goals and push the game. You know, they're definitely Conte-ish. I mean, you can't fault the discipline they have. Listen, you can argue that Wolves had a lot of shots. Certainly didn't. They had 12 in the first half. But the fact is that defensively, although they gave shots away, the defenders were close enough that the shots were weak or above average, shall we say. So Lloris was never really tested. So I guess you've got to say that that's good defending. I'm kind of conflicted here because Spurs, to me, look as though they're going to finish in the top four. And they look as though they're going to finish in the top four because of games like today. They're going to win games because of Harry Kane, because Young-Min Song on another day will be better than he was today, and because they have Richarlison that they can bring on and who adds energy and perks the whole stadium up and perks the team up. But it's not a free-flowing, I can't wait to see Spurs kind of team. But at the end of the day, if you're a Spurs fan, you know, you want to win. And if that's how you're going to win, then you'll accept it.
Look, it's 3 points on the board given to them by the talisman. That's more Premier League goals for one club than anybody else for Harry Kane. 185 now, overtaking Sergio Aguero. And his 250th goal for Spurs. He just finds a way. He's instinctive. What do you make of Harry Kane this season and maybe over the last 2 or 3 seasons, Stevie, where at times he's played a little bit deeper, but he doesn't need more than one invitation, does he? Ball's in the back of the net.
No, he definitely has an instinct in the box where to be. He attacks things when he needs to, and he holds his position when he needs to, and that's what he did today. A corner kick played into the near post. It's a flick on. He clearly knows the drill, and he holds his spot at the back post. The defender, however, doesn't do his job, doesn't stay with Harry Kane, tries to take a step up. And so Harry Kane just uses his football brain and, of course, his football instinct. And that's what you see, and that's what all the best strikers have. They've got great football brains, they've got great instincts, and they have composure that when the opportunities come along, they take them. So, yeah, Harry Kane, listen, who doesn't want Harry Kane in their team? Let's put it that way.
Spurs fans had to wait until the third game of the season to get the first start for Ivan Perisic. He's a left wing-back who, on paper, is a left wing-back, but rarely plays there, takes set plays. I thought he should have pulled the trigger when he had that wonderful run, but instead he made the pass. What's the difference in a Spurs side with Ivan Perisic and one that we saw with Sessegnon, perhaps, in the first couple of games of the season?
Well, the clear difference is experience. You know, Sessegnon gets himself in good positions, and then the delivery or the option, the decision, whatever it may be that comes next isn't quite there. You see with Perisic that he makes good decisions. Yes, you're talking about him maybe if he could have taken a shot, but some of the balls that he puts over are tantalising. And if I'm Harry Kane, I know what Perisic is about. He's going to take his defender on, and then he's going to whip a ball in for me. And for a centre forward, that's fantastic. When you know the man who's wide, you know what he's going to do, you know what he's trying to do. It just makes it so much easier. And as I said, when you've got such a good football brain as Kane does, then you better look forward to some goals between these two. It won't just be Son and Kane; it'll be Perisic and Kane now.
Oh, speaking of goals, Wolves wish that they could score a lot more than they actually do. Let's talk a little bit about them. Mateus Nunes, new signing and midweek record signing. 7 Portuguese players started that game. Jorge Mendes, the super agent, is really involved in that football club, and he's brought a lot of talent over there. For me, Stevie, they're really good individual players. They're excellent to watch. They're fantastic technically, but as a team, it hasn't quite gelled yet for a goal-scoring Wolves side because they look like they labour at times despite looking good in the build-up. How do they get the talent that they have to end up equaling goals?
Well, go and get yourself a Harry Kane. I mean, they don't have a goal scorer.
No.
They, as you said, they brought in Mateus Nunes. He's a classic Wolves player. He passes the ball sharply. His movement's good. Technically, he's good. His touch is good. Everything's good until they get near the penalty box. And then they don't have a natural goal scorer. They don't have a player with that natural talent for sniffing out an opportunity, for getting in a position where somebody's going to find them. It just breaks down. And it's just the makeup of the team. I mean, it really is. You know exactly what you're going to get. I don't think I've ever watched a game involving Wolves where they haven't impressed me with the way they knock the ball around. It's 1 and 2 touch. It's sharp. The movement, all of the things that I've just spoken about, you see it. You talk about consistent. They are so consistent from their own penalty box to the opposition penalty box. But unfortunately, they're so consistent inside the penalty box that they never seem to get it done, or they don't get it done enough. They're missing a goal scorer or another or 2 goal scorers. You know, if they could get a partnership up front that was about putting the ball in the net, because everything else behind that is great to watch. It's good football, but it's, you know, we always talk about Spurs being Spursy. I'll tell you what, Wolves are absolutely Wolvesy, if that's possible.
You can have it if you want it, Stevie. At least Raul Jimenez was on the bench, and hopefully he's getting back to full fitness pretty soon. But Wolves couldn't score. Spurs weren't great in the first half, but they did what they had to in the second half. And Harry Kane, the history maker at Spurs, beat Wolves by 1-0.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.